Thelema, the Banquet. Hey, listen up. These are some seriously exclusive rumors. One-time deal, okay? I'm only spilling the beans because you're treating tonight, got it? The young man said, tapping his glass on the table. He usually didn't do well in the bar's card games, so winning big like he did today was a rare stroke of luck. Riding the buzz of alcohol and victory, the conversation started flowing. Oh, and one more thing. Keep it on the down low. No spreading the word, got it? The unlucky loser at the card table nodded eagerly. As long as you know the deal. So, let me tell you about how I got invited to the Frenzy Feast. Yep, you heard right. The famous Frenzy Feast, hosted by none other than Lady Thelema Nutrescu herself, the head of the Nutrescu family. Lady Thelema, huh? What kind of title is that? Like you're on a first-name basis with her. Invited guests or maybe her subjugation might get away with it. Us, common folk? No way we're calling her by her name. Me? Oh, yeah, of course I was invited too. Don't doubt me, buddy. I've got quite a bit of a reputation in these parts. Getting off track. Anyway, only those approved by Lady Thelema herself get the invite to enter the masked corridor and join the feast. The specific criteria? Well, it's all about whether you have that noble qualification. How's that judged? Well, that's up to the lady, and nobody's really clear on it. The Frenzy Feast takes place deep within the corridors, and just like the maze-like layout of those halls, once you're in the feast, without the host's permission, you can't reach the end. Day or night, rain or shine, the party never stops. At the feast, there's an endless array of delicacies from land and sea. You name it, they've got it. And on the dance floor, you'll find the most elegant dancers in the most luxurious attire, mostly designed by the lady herself. But of course, compared to the true pleasure prepared by Lady Thelema, all of that pales in comparison. It's said that every night she prepares entertainment, which is fresh, thrilling, and utterly unheard of for her guests. Huh? Why do I sound like I'm reciting from a textbook? Well, that's just because the memory is so vivid. I mean, I've seen it with my own eyes. Can't argue with that, can you? In the end, all of that isn't the key to the Frenzy Feast. The pleasures offered by Lady Thelema are beyond what ordinary folks can handle. Even so, everyone scrambles for an invitation to the masked corridor because guests of the Frenzy Feast are protected by the Shu of Pleasure, shielded from the Shadow Calamity. Yeah, with 10 faces of misery wreaking havoc everywhere else, not a single incident has occurred in the masked corridor. Just raise a glass to Lady Thelema, praise her name, immerse yourself in her revelry, and fear won't find you anymore. Alas, if only I could get a chance to join. I did. I mean, if only I could go again. What? You say you have connections? How's that possible? You're just a little girl. Really? You do? For real? Well, of course. I don't just make things up out of thin air. The raggedly dressed girl finally flashed a merchant-like grin. After all, I'm sort of an old acquaintance of Lady Thelema. If you want to know those connections, next month's dinner. You'll do the treat, right? The following two passages are excerpts from The 7 Shus and 1 Law, not from the Anecdotes of the Arts. The Law of Revelation. It is widely known that the true meaning of the 7 Shus lies in the 7 methods to subdue the 10 faces of misery. However, some of you may have heard that initially they were referred to more as the 7 Shus and 1 Law. At least at that time, people truly believed in the existence of this law from the bottom of their hearts. But over the course of a long time, people could never find any evidence of its existence. Even the evidence that once existed could only be dismissed as misunderstandings. Then why did people initially believe in its existence? This perhaps brings us back to the essence of the Shus, those who, through some means, subdue fear and gain power from the shadows. Naturally, people felt that there might be individuals among them who could reach the end, meaning that they completely mastered the 10 faces of misery. They no longer needed to access power through methods, but could instead control its rules. Of course, this is just one interpretation. Some believe that in fact, law was the existence that appeared in the world first, and the methods of the Shus were distributed to everyone by that law after careful consideration. Objectively speaking, this notion is clearly nonsensical. The second passage, Listen in the Dim Light. In summary, thanks to Maria's information, we've debunked previous speculations and unraveled the mystery of the lantern melody. Now, let's talk about her 7 posts of transfixing shadows, better known as the 7 nails. After Langqiu's inception, the Shus expanded the influence of the pool of shadows using these nails, ensuring our land wouldn't be entirely consumed. Essentially, the power of the 7 Shus has always been sealed within the 7 nails. However, according to some rumors, they may contain other things besides power. If there's a chance, I'll add the strange visions seen by a resident later. This time, I want to explore a more credible exception. If you are familiar with my previous work, Curse in the Shadows, The Great Panic, a 100-Year Chronicle, then you'll likely understand that since Lantern is so different from the other Shus, it's probably difficult for her to store power in the nails like them. So are her 7 nails just a facade, or is our understanding incomplete? Hopefully, Miss Maria can bring us some new insights. Thank you for listening so far. With this episode, we are completely done with the Anecdotes of the Arts mini arc within Honkai Narrated. With the conclusion of this little mini arc, I want to go back towards part 1 and start tackling the Remembrance Vessels in the Elysian Realm. I think there's a lot of content there that people really would like to hear, and it's something that I really want to revisit myself to gain a better understanding, maybe freshen up my memory of the Flame Chasers. Thanks again for listening in. If you are enjoying the series, or if you enjoyed this episode in particular, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel. There's going to be more of both Honkai Star Rail and Honkai Impact 3rd in the near future. Art and Literature Throughout the Ages, issue 1023, Elysium Mythology Special Edition. In the region of Elysium, a mythological style unlike any other flourishes, carving its own niche within the ancient culture of Luoxing. In recent times, it's often construed as temporalism, aiming to encapsulate themes such as when individuals confront the vast expanse of time and the immense empty cosmos, they deeply feel their own insignificance, thus realizing that human destiny always wavers between clarity and ambiguity. For instance, in the tale of Spiritual Ancestor, the protagonist, a young lad, glimpses a script that cannot be remembered within a dream. Throughout his remaining years, he tirelessly seeks it in his dreams, traversing countless epochs through dream associations, yet never setting eyes on that script again. Just as he faces imminent demise due to an unexpected mishap, in his final moments he discovers, through a shared vision with other departed souls in the realm of dreams, that the script is actually a grander imprint belonging uniquely to him within the vast expanse of space-time. These countless unique scripts amount to trillions upon trillions. They assemble to form a giant in the crevice of space-time, the spiritual progenitor of humanity. Likewise, in the narrative of Truth and Lies, the tale concludes through the voice of the divine, asserting that truth is an invisible, intangible substance, while lies are the opposite, dark matter that not even light can penetrate. The most common state in the human world is a kind of intermediary. Individuals often gaze at truth with one eye, letting their vision fade into infinity like a far-sighted individual. And with the other eye, they scrutinize lies, confining their sight to arm's length like a nearsighted individual. From this, the divine in the story concludes that human existence unfolds between farsightedness and nearsightedness, intertwined with truth and lies. Thus, they can never reach the realm of the divine, nor possess the divine mindset. Only as a whole can humanity be spoken of in the same breath as the divine. Thought experiment on endless history. Author Youyun. Have you ever entertained the notion of such a possibility? That your life in the boundless expanse of the universe has in fact repeated countless times and will continue to do so indefinitely? Some may counter. The universe has a clear beginning and size, it's not truly infinite. In the realm of physics, this is indeed the case. But within the realm of imagination, there exist more intriguing scenarios. Now imagine yourself living in an online game. As a character in the game, how does your existence manifest? Are you the same you, tirelessly repeating the same words to countless players? Or are there myriad parallel yous, each corresponding to every individual player? Or perhaps somewhere in between. You consistently believe you live in a unique world, leading a singular life, yet in truth, this world and you have already repeated and will continue to repeat countless times. Even within this overarching eternity, countless cycles can be delineated, each containing the outcomes of all free will, with specific choices repeating endlessly. In this context, you possess a state comprised of eternal cycles, infinitely bound across dimensions of time and space. In another perspective, as a character in the game, each interaction with a player initiates the flow of time for you, prompting choices in your life. For your consciousness, each choice appears unique, yet the weight carried by these choices may not be singular, but rather infinite. Of course, you know reality isn't a networked game. Thought experiments remain just that, thought experiments. However, from a statistical standpoint, within the sea of Quanta, the sea of data in a broader sense, the likelihood of a bubble universe spontaneously arising is far greater than that of a bubble universe derived from a civilized world. And on a more concrete level, in everyday life, encountering humans born from the sea of data is likely a common occurrence. Perhaps as a reader of this text, you yourself belong to this category. So when you apply this logic behind such a common occurrence to the thought experiment just presented, can you still argue it's merely a thought experiment devoid of any semblance of reality? Your life, in the boundless expanse of the universe, has in fact repeated countless times, and will continue to do so indefinitely.